Yep.
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute. This music isn't right. The scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermorians. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airwaves on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you with the love and support of our good friends over at the Independent Creator Directory. That's ndcd.org, your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, artists, and musicians. We're also made possible by sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, all part of our ongoing series of Western martial arts manuals designed to help you go from having never handled the sword to teaching the art to others. And that just fell over. That is a spill I don't need to deal with right now. Also, Haints and Hellfire, a dark secret has claimed 2 lives as hunting an innocent child at the edge of the Appalachian Mountains. Only his aunt, a plucky reporter, her cameraman, and a very odd cat stand against the forces of darkness. Hello, I want to apologize. There was some household difficulties that needed my immediate attention, and that delayed my ability to start on time. Even if it was only by a few minutes, I do humbly apologize. I do take my professionalism incredibly seriously, and this falls on my head. However, we should be back into things and hopefully having a lovely art stream for the rest of our time together. It is Wednesday. My accountability for yesterday. Actually, yesterday was a day I spent cleaning. I've been doing some game prep for tomorrow. My plans for today is to continue game prep after this. And I'm kind of excited because it's the first of our every couple weeks. So I'll be doing 2 a month instead of 1 a month so that I have opportunities to get out of the house more. It will be a very good opportunity for me and a good time for us to go out and get some really cool things done. All of it, of course, barring situation. But that doesn't mean there's any place for us to be grumpy about it. Things happen and we adapt and we deal with it. That's part of what makes us great, my friends. All us creatives, we meet the challenges that are posed to us, be they geopolitical, hexscape or just dealing with the local hazards of family life. Uh, I think overall of it, I'm just tired, guys. I'm too tired to be grumpy about it. So I'm just not gonna. Uh, I don't know. I don't know how my world's going to change in the near future, but it will. And that's the one thing you can be assured of. Now, speaking of things that are coming up in the future, I want to remind you guys that Saturday, January 31st, on Kicking It with Sam and Mrs. Acme, a bunch of our dear friends from Indie CD are going to be on having a wonderful time on that stream service Kick. The nice thing about Kick is they are the only ones who pay me for streaming. Them and my amazing Patreon supporters. But the only way to keep doing this sometimes is to have your support. There's a lot that's going on, and I'm doing the best I can with what I got. So as always, positive vibes are always appreciated. But it is Wednesday. It is fun drawing time. So we're going to do fun drawing time real soon. And before I do that, I'm going to go through the comments. And we'll catch up after a word from one of our sponsors. All right, folks, thank you for that. Sorry, we have severe weather coming in. Looks like a big snowstorm. So if you are in North or Central Indiana, please be careful. We're going to have the temperatures drop like they saw a state trooper, and they're expecting sudden, possibly blinding snow in the next hour. So please, if you can, stay off the roads. I've asked my actual producers to, if my feed gets goofed up, to just cut the show as a means of safety. So if things go boink, it'll cut the show, and I'll just do more or again at a later date, because that happens sometimes. But let's get into your comments. And let's see what we have to do and say. Okay, looks like we got a good crowd today. Always glad to see you. First through the door is Carl Wixman. Good morning to all. Good morning, Carl. And good morning, Foxy. Hello. And Houston Dave, flying dragon bowling and hitting gnome bowling. Isn't that great? I thought that was fun. We had a really fun picture for today. Maybe we'll do some more fun pictures. Good morning, Mr. Hollifield. And hi, Foxy, Dave, and Dan. Oh, Carl's greeting everyone. So you guys are just wonderful today. And good morning, Trelena. Always good to see you. Can't wait till this weekend. And Dave's making breakfast burritos and biscuits before the show. Well, that sounds wonderful. Man, I might do something similar after the show. Good morning, Foxy. It'll be lunch, but that's fine. And we got greetings, and we have greetings, and hello, Donna. You're greeting everyone. And Foxy's talking about that breakfast burrito, and honestly, it sounds really good. Hey. Hockey team kicked butt this last night. I'm glad to hear it, Foxy. I fell asleep before the end of the game, but 6-1 ain't bad. That's not bad at all. Hi, Trey and Donna. Breakfast burrito. Ooh, blows my Pop-Tart out of the water. I had one of my last little True bars. I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm fully out of them, but it gets me going and it gets me through. Going to share this link about the loss of ancient books and why it's good to get your works out there. Ooh. Please drop that in my direct messenger since I can't easily pull things off of YouTube. I'd like to see it. I have watched it 3 times and it moves me to action every time. Well, I am glad for anything that motivates the creatives in my life to be creative. And hello! Hello, Grant. How are you? Greetings, Grant. Greetings to Grant. Greetings to Grant. Accountability. I'm going to try and record and upload my first psychology show by Sunday night. Excellent. And it won't be a read comments live show, even when it is live. All comments will be collected to be answered later as we can. That's a very good policy. If we read comments live, we would never get to the topics in my lifetime. Exactly. And sometimes you have to do that. You have to pre-record, or you have to take a firmer hold on your interactions as a broadcaster. So it's good that you're laying those rules, you're laying that groundwork right away. Hi, Carl and Donna. Very true. Good morning, everyone. Going to be lurking and listening while working on cost estimation. Well, thank you, Joe. And guys, if the wind knocks me out for any measurable length of time, Joe's under request to just axe the program. We're not going to play with trying to fight it if it gets bad. If it doesn't, I will happily do a whole drawing stream. Inigo says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Inigo. Oh, fun, Joe. Yeah, he's working hard. And the fact that he's willing to take time out of his day to help me is huge. And now that he has his peoples up and awake, it's time for a nap. Rolls eyes. It happens. The guy running Toll Road Project wanted me to go out today and check a few points he didn't send me earlier this week. Of course. And happy random numbers to Inigo. I wouldn't have made it to the first point before the snow hit today. Yeah, it's supposed to snow horribly and then just drop into the freezer. Good morning, Angelina. Good morning, Uncle Carl, Aunt Donna, Captain Dan, Foxy, Trelane, Dave, and Joe. Angelina, waves. Hey, Angelina. Snow today. Joe, behave yourself. No snow here. Headphone users and earbud wearers, be alert. Sorry about that squeak. There's a squeaky belt again. Hey, Nick or anyone. Do you have a date in mind for Indie CDCon? Yes, I have a free legal clinic that month. I want to see if that will keep me from coming up. I will have to check my calendar again. I need to make a flyer for that. It is in March, I believe. Let me see if I got it to my calendar like I planned to or not. No, I didn't. I'll have to find the notice for that. But we will get that to you. I know I've given it to Dawn a couple times. We got some stuff going on in the background that's thrown me off today. But I will get back to you guys with that. We used hold the bar of soda on the belt to quiet it, but that's not a permanent fix. Don't forget to like and share, folks. Hey, Nick. Plus, running soap against it is dang dangerous. Yes. If we had money to fix the car, I'd fix the car just so I don't listen to it. We don't have money. I am right there with you, Foxy. Now safe for headphones. Hi, Joe. Hi, Angelina. Hey, everyone I missed while taking a lap around the offices. And I'm procrastinating on creating Kickstarter for League of Cryptids Number 4. Why? I'm sure. Hello? Hello, Boots. I'm sorry, dear. Do you need me to open the door for you? Okay. Come on. I'm sorry. I gotta let Boots out. You want out? Or are you hiding? There you go.
Here. I was going to get Boots out for you.
You back away. She's scared of you right now, bud. Okay. Come on. Come on, honey. Come on. It's okay. Okay, good girl. Sorry about that. Poor little girl. I would have shown you, but I didn't really get a chance. Apparently she had hidden here with this morning, and whew. Simple sword is called, God is called church, amen. I have many things, but a God I am not. I would say would that I were, but that is not a burden of responsibility I'm comfortable with. Lights just flickered here. Oh, Joe, stay warm and all that. Love today's doodle art. I'm glad. Stay warm, safe, keep warm. We already got a quarter inch this morning. Wind is straight out of the north right now. Yeah, I looked at the weather. Oh, March 7th. Thank you, Amanda. My last note fell down. I'm going to write it, and then I'm going to put more Post-it notes. Lord knows I have enough Post-it notes, thanks to Robin Yoda. But I will be making a flyer to address that. But we're going old school. Longtime fans are used to this particular method. All right. Thank you, Amanda. Hi, Boots. Bye, Boots. Yep. Thanks. Hey, try saying hi. And you know what? I'll probably do a dual reminder one. Thank you. Because it just keeps slipping my mind. Alrighty, and with that bit of remembrance, okay, we are going to go to an ad and just set the art stuff up. I will get doing some art. It'll be a good time. Let's see, what ad should I run to buy myself some time? Oh, I got a good one. Oh, I almost had it set up. There we go. Alrighty then. Let me just fix this because it'll drive me bonkers. Okay. We are set. We're going to grab some nice music from the wonder that is Dan Hollifield. And let's start with Nature Walking. We'll start mellow and we will, oops, sorry about that. and we'll ease our way up into activity. Angelina says, I'm trying to eat healthy and have fruit for breakfast. It sucks, but I do like the 20 pounds I've lost in the last 3 months. So maybe one day I'll really like fruit. I understand that feeling. And I lost a bunch of weight, and then stuff happened, and I gained a bunch of it back. And now I'm still well over 100 from my highest, but adaptation happens now. Let's start with we're going to start again, and we're going to go to about 300. Yeah, I didn't want to go 300. That's a little excessive. Let's go 150. I want a nice kind of pale, so I'm doing big swirls, almost storybook sky. I think a storybook sky seems like it'd be a nice start for this one. I know I'm leaving a little white at the edges, but that's kind of part of the whole here. I want storybooks. I want something mellow. We're going to pull everything down, and we'll just, maybe I will lose light at the edges. I've been doing it so long, I kind of, right now it's just this kind of sideways, looking up at wispy clouds kind of situation. I like that. It's letting me work my hand and shoulder out a bit. Yeah, let's play with this. I'm gonna just throw some deeper blue in here. Maybe make it a little more even. I don't know. Let's get this turning out to be more purple. That's fine. But again, we're just playing loosey-goosey. Nothing real hinky going on. I like that, yeah. You should be proud, Angelina, though. Losing 20 pounds is a major endeavor. And right now, I'm just playing with the different shades of blue I have access to. And sometimes you have to, guys. You have to play with what you have access to. Because you never know what it's going to make you see or feel. And it's just slowly bringing this kind of nice, mellow sky to life. And I'm here for some mellow. I think we all are here for some mellow. There's been a lot going on. Maybe we ought to talk about that. I get the same news you guys get, probably. And I know that sometimes it can be a lot. It can be scary. And that's okay. Because we have to find what's going to move us. And we have to kind of reach for that. Now, I'm sort of, for lack of a better word, penciling in some of the more significant features. This image is going to be very inspired by something. Last night I was sitting with Xander and Mandy, and we were having dinner inside. And I had stumbled across a video. And that video was of, it was a very chill string of somebody doing a peaceful walk through Skyrim. And I found it really interesting. Because I know some of you are older viewers and you may not know more than, collectively much about Skyrim and why it wouldn't matter. But Skyrim is the 5th in a video game series called The Elder Scrolls. They're a role-playing adventure series. But the thing about Skyrim is, it's funny, all the sky talk, and we lost a lot of it to the mountains, but that's okay. Is that Skyrim, now, normally I do a double tap that fills in, but today I want these as guidelines in the places that it is tight enough to hold. That's not the right direction. That is up. Because that will, by tapping only once, at least in Koepp Studio, it will leave the guidelines. And at this point, I really want the guidelines. I don't want the blob. But so I can do, see, that was is it closed? And I know that's not closed because it's not closed right there. But now I should be able to go here and here, and I still get to keep my guidelines. Yep, StockCon is held in the lovely town of Fowler, Indiana. And it is a tiny little event, but we do our best to make it fun in hopes of bringing a little extra amusement to the area and to the folks who live here. Now, I don't have to do this, but I'm going to do another layer just to protect this as a sort of sketch layer. That's a little darker than I wanted. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to lighten this up a bit. There, sorry guys. There we go. And I'm just going to soften my edges. Okay. But the event is focused around Big Stompy Robots, my tabletop tactics game. It's a war game with, I made all the miniatures. For years, I only sold wooden ones, but thanks to the assistance of Joe Bachman and Richard Asplund, I was able to have my 3D designs actually converted into 3D prints, and we were able to use miniatures I made. However, that is by far not the only way to use it. We've used all sorts of minis to play Big Stompy Robots. It is a game I love, and once I get through some of the things that I'm doing, I will be working more on Big Stompy Robots lore and books and things. There are a couple novels in the series. I'm very proud of it. Angelina, right now our attendance is very, very small. The nearest hotel is in Fowler. Not in Fowler, in Kentland, Indiana. If we can get enough interest drummed up, we may try to do a convention, or we were hoping to, in closer to Lafayette, where there are far more resources. But part of my goal in these little tiny conventions is to be able to bring now that that's softened, bring the idea of gaming and small vending to a very central location, originally in hopes of enticing and even elevating the lives of the locals. Because we found out that when we factored in the cost for us to go to our main conventions, which was originally Arctic Con, and it got morphed into Region Con, and that event is no more. But now we are slowly becoming pillars over at LodgeCon in Bourbonnais. Well, okay, it's in Piatone, I'm sorry. We stay in Bourbonnais during that event, but we realized for the cost of it, the outlay, we can run an entire tiny event. And since there's kind of a gap in the event schedule, we're hoping that it will take off. And it may not. But with the vendors, what we do is we take the cost of it, which is currently about $500, and we split the hall rental between us. And at the worst, even if it's quiet, we have some amazing, essentially panel discussions about how to vend there. And I really think people are missing out. And not just because I want it to go, but the table rental, minus the cost that would be our table rental because I'm fair, covers the hall and insurance and all that. So we have enough theoretically every year to come back and do it again, assuming we make a little bit, make enough to cover other things. Yes, we've dealt. The main gaming store in Lafayette is very convention opposed, actually. They did a single convention in 2015 or 2016 and decided that they would never do that again. However, we are heavily supported by an amazing game store called By the Board, ran by Adrienne Brunette. I know her by her first name so much I'm not used to saying her last name. And it's in Lowell, and they provide they set up an incredible table with lots of smaller and independent games, and it's a big draw. There's actually a small gaming shop in Fowler, but they are so small that they don't really have a lot come over, but we're trying to partner with them more. We'll see. And I'm always looking for more options, you know? Plus, we have some great vendors who come out. Usually, Carl and Donna. We have, obviously, White Boot Arms and Artistry. Duh, that's my shop. And yeah, I'm actually planning the next time I'm a little flush to go down to buy the board to acquire some bulk Magic cards for donation again to the library. Something I want to do. I don't know if I'll be able to, but last time we did, it worked so well, and I had planned to do it again, and we just the holidays this year really didn't quite work as planned, and it sort of took a lot out of us. I mean, it took a lot out of me. I think it took a lot out of everybody. But it's not this year, it's last year. That's 2025. 2025 is old business. I don't have time to worry about 2025 hassles anymore. But yeah, if you ever have a chance to go to buy the board, they do a couple things that are a little controversial at first till you realize why. It's like they usually have a very small table fee for people who play games at their shop, you know, a couple bucks. But what that does is it keeps only people who are willing to, you know, who are there for a reason. She is very big into a game called Flesh and Blood. I tried it. It was kind of fun. But I admit, I've been playing Magic for 30 years, guys. I mean, longer now, but I've been playing it since it came out. So I'm kind of invested in that ecosystem. And it's hard for me to get into newer games that I haven't made myself. Just because so much of my time is. I mean, if I'm playing, you know, like if I'm going to play a tabletop game with miniatures, there's a good chance I'm just going to play big snappy robots. And like I have a truly diabolical number of Magic cards. Now, not a lot of your more fancy cards, but I got a good collection. And most of them are in the giant card catalog in my living room because I have a very awesome and understanding wife. Ooh, what's this? I have... Oh, that reminds me, I have a 3D printed sword dice holder for you. Oh, that's so amazing. Just be careful taking the blade out of the sheath. The sound is not pleasant at all. 3D prints have a very distinct sound. So I can imagine. Thank you so much. I am always shocked when people have like presents for me. It always surprises me. I've worked to get a little better about that. Because we're all trying to grow and mature and get better. And it means sometimes facing some things about ourselves that need work. And in my case, I am not terribly good at celebrating. Sounds odd. I mean, I could throw a mean party, but I've had questionable luck when it comes to celebrating my own situations. So when something like birthdays or whatever happen, I don't know how to process it. I'm just not very good at it. I'm working on it though. And this is, I want to point out, this is a little different than my normal approach. I understand that. This probably should have been a multiply layer, but we're playing. I want, that's a race, isn't it? No. Like, I like that color. That's about this color, isn't it? So if I go here, will I get it somewhere? Yeah. There we go. We can bring some snow into this. Yeah, why not? Oh, get that nice contrasty vibe. Anyway. Well, this takes me all the way back to what I originally was playing. Last night we were playing a video that was a walkthrough of Skyrim. And it got me thinking. Thank you very much again, Joe. Yeah, I know they can be painful. About 10 years ago now, we had a situation that was very, very, very rough on us. And it involved, amongst other things, the loss of our house. And we had to move, and my parents were kind enough to rent us out the apartment next to their garage. So we had our own very nice, very independent space. It was small, but it was beautiful when you didn't know where you were going to live. And we were blessed because so many people go through being unhoused and don't have that fallback. Anyway, it was also very challenging on us. I'm just going to use the fingertip tool to blur things out and soften some of these lines. They're just a little too linear, not that wet, fluid look I'm looking for. This side's not so bad. I got some different effects, but we're going to work on it. Anyway, when it got bad, especially when winter hit and we were kind of stuck, I would tell folks I'm going on vacation in Skyrim, and I would just wander around in the game. I always planned to make a fully peaceful version just for the purpose of just checking out what there is to see. But I'll pull this black around. But it was my escape. And late into last night, because we didn't realize the video we put on was 11 hours. So we had to stop at about the 3-hour mark. I had that running, and we all just sat and quietly listened to the music of Skyrim and watched it warm around. It's amazing that we live in an era where we can actually, my generation and later, I think, for the most part, can become nostalgic, not just for the experiences of video games, but in the case of a few of them, not just the gameplay, but the setting as a place. And I've had that happen to me a couple times in a few games. I've had that happen to me in a few tabletop games where I'm running players through places that I've had characters, because I've been running these games and stuff again for 30 plus years. You get nostalgic for places that never were, and it's a very unique perspective. Now, Skyrim's strange because Mandy has to put up with travel Nick because my parents took me on a lot of road trips. I was blessed that way too, and I go through. I don't know, more wandering, watching this guy's character just slowly walk through Skyrim. And danged if there are spots that remind me. It's like I know where this is supposed to be in game, but it's like there is a region that reminds me of our trip up to Wisconsin with our buddy Steve, where we stayed on Europe Lake. And there are parts that remind me of the Grand Teton National Forest and my misadventures up with my parents and getting out by Yellowstone and seeing the dang bear. And if the simulation is close enough to remind me of all that. And that's kind of magical. And yes, Troy, I think that is a really good idea to see if you can smooth out the prints. Because the resin 3D prints look so clean, but I'll be honest, the fumes and maintenance kind of scares me. And honestly, it seems a little wasteful. But I don't know. I was supposed to be able to work on my 3D printers this weekend, and a few things happened, and it just made it not feasible. Now, while I'm doing this, guys, remember you use the smudges when you've got your colors kind of based, where you know where you want them, to always be pulling down, because don't think of mountains as stationary. Mountains are not stationary. They are not fixed. They are living, breathing creatures, always slowly in movement. Okay? Which means if they're in movement, gravity is affecting them. The forces of erosion are constantly pulling them down. The forces of the tectonic plates are constantly pushing them up, or the volcanic, depending on the type of mountain. So there's this slow motion war with gravity and erosion, and whether it's a conflict or a dance is up to your interpretation. But the one thing, when you're working on a mountain, and I find that to be true of any of the great elemental forces, you have to realize that they're moving, they're living, and in a very real eldritch kind of way, they are completely uncaring. The mountain's going to do what the mountain's going to do. It's going to have rock slides when it's going to have rock slides. It's going to have the weather around it change when its weather decides to change. And you learn to watch and anticipate, and then get the heck out of the way. I'm kind of wondering if I should have made this a lake, like I'm playing with the scale again. But I don't know. I kind of want to add some more stuff. But I want to get the mountains right first, because they're going to be in the background. Sort of. We're going to highlight things. There we go. How's that look? Little. A little. The other good thing about this style of painting, of art, of whatever you want to call this, is it's really good when you're hurting. It's really good when you're scared or you're sad or you're in pain. Because it lets you take that and do something with it. It, I don't want to say anthropomorphizes pain, but it transmutes it. There's an alchemical process where the blurriness that pain gives you, the softness on the edges, it gives you this sense of other. It's like it's the fuel for the magic. And when you start looking at the pain, because we all have pain, we all have fear, we all have sorrow, we all have loss, we're all grieving, especially these days. It gives you the power back to do something with it. That's a big part of why real art is so important. Because the creative process is the gift far more than the product for the artist itself. The product is just that, it's a product of a process. But the ability to take and go, I hurt, my heart hurts, my body hurts. What can I do with that? I'm adding a normal layer. I'm going to try to work on this middle area a bit. What can I do to change that? What can I make it? It brings the impetus. I know I'm not saying that word right, but the drive, the direction, the purpose towards something beyond merely enduring and surviving. It lets you take the kind of pain you may be feeling, whatever you're feeling, and channel it. That's why it's so important. It's so easy to be angry right now. There's so much anger. It's in the atmosphere. But what's winning? What's winning out the day, and it's what's winning. Thank you, Dave. Don't think erosion matters. The Appalachian Mountains were once higher than the Himalayas. They remember it. I think they're still off. But this is really indicating that there's a creek or a body of water in there, isn't it? We'll see. The transformative nature lets you take your pain and fear, and it lets you be empowered by it to make change. And that's what I think I see going on. It's why things are so strange right now, because people aren't responding with just hatred and anger, and people are cheesed, and rightfully so, but they're responding as though they're looking for a way that doesn't involve violence. It doesn't involve playing that game. that we're looking for almost a hope. And those gifted with that sense of hope, those gifted with the foresight to realize what's going on and try, despite maybe their own desires, to build something from that, to realize that there is something happening. They're working towards a very different kind of future. And the fact that people can see the possibility of that kind of future, it's the same kind of process. It's alchemy. It's taking pain and shaping it into something else. And when it gets really hard on me, when the physical pain is too much, or I've had to endure something and I can barely speak around how much it hurts. Knowing that people are out here trying to find better ways, and hoping I can use that knowledge, that approach, to inspire others towards something more peaceful. Whoa! No, I do not want paint. Go away. Be gone. I could do something for you guys in paint if you guys really want. As well as you just say the word, but try to cut in a little bit of reflection here to give the water more feel, more depth of hope. That was not fun. Depth of activity. We can do this. Pull this out. There we are. How's that looking for you guys? Hey, you have a good time at your meeting. And I understand a lot of you are going to have to stop off because it's lunchtime for you. But I appreciate you guys coming by, and if we're still on when you come back out, hang out with us. Pull this down. I'll put some trees in here. Just put some nice trees in here. Like this guy. Like this guy. You can see the trees. Where there's hills, the trees their roots are literally holding up the mountain. They're holding up they're preventing erosion. I think that's really cool. I don't know how many trees I need. I need enough. Boy, that storm is blowing outside. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Okay, you guys have a good time. Enjoy having meetings with your bestie, Donna. Hope you guys have a nice lunch out. Play or tree. Just play with. Now, come over here. I'm going to click one down to my pointillism brush, which is basically the greatest thing since sliced cheese. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and sliced bread is the greatest thing since Betty White. But, things like that. How's that looking? We got this little grove of trees that are, hidden away. Let's see, what kind of... I'm looking for a very distinct color. See, that's way too bright. I'm going to have to play with this a bit. That's better. Okay, I like that, but what I need to do is dim like the opacity of it. Let me see if I can do this. Come here. First, I go here. I don't want to adjust this. I want this, but I want it. Yeah. That's the color I want. And I try, whenever possible, to not oh, I swallowed the tree, didn't I? Let's see. Did I swallow the tree? Just a little bit. Little patch of non-arid land has been growing up out here in this little mountain area for so long. It's just this sort of hidden glen. Normally I would do this behind the trees, but I forgot to. I think that's one of the reasons I like doing the art live for you guys. This is just palette now. Now I'm just playing. I've decided I'm going to be bad and not just use the standard colors. So it's a little harder for the folks following along. But on the pre-recorded at the end of this, once it's fully swapped over, you should be able to just pause and bounce back and see roughly where I'm grabbing. And if there's anything I can do to help, I'll play try to. Water's a little murky looking. I have to do some stuff. I don't know. Do I like that? I spent a lot of time on it. Did I just say Betty White? Of course I did. Yeah, honestly, let me look at exactly. I have complete massive whiteout. It is utter whiteout outside my window. I cannot. Okay, I can barely see the street post across the way. I wouldn't go anywhere if I were of any authority for anyone. I'm glad. Mandy almost tried to come home early for other reasons, and I asked her not to. I'm now very glad I did. I'm just adding some light to the highlights. And I'm going to come back. Am I happy? I'm kind of happy about it. I want this to be... I don't know if I'm making sense. I want this to be quietly lush. Like, this is a place that maybe most folks don't even know is there. Is this brighter? Okay. Let me try this. There we go. I want to use this to add some shading to the bottom of these guys. Maybe even, yeah. We're going to add just, and I'm very lightly pressing to just kind of give the impression of the yellow, the falling foliage. There we go. Do we like that? I think we like that. I think that's getting somewhere. It's not quite done. So let me see if I can't add just another layer and just a few more bits. And I have to be careful at this stage. But just a few more pieces in. I'm going to have to really, really be gentle with. Just sort of harden a couple of the shapes because we need a little bit better transfer from the darker elements of these closer mountains to the brighter elements of this hidden valley. And yes, I'm Midwestern enough that I've said hidden valley and my brain went ranch. I don't know how my lunch is going to go. I wasn't able to get one of my morning meds, so I may have some issues. We'll see. We'll see how that works. Let's see. There we go. See how it's starting to transition better? And I just hope anybody who's transitioning through their life, whatever way they are, can do so as peacefully and with as much grace as possible. Because there's a lot of darkness right over here. It's like you're coming out of a darker, more intense place and just wandering into the sort of oasis of softness. And I like that. I think I like this one. I think I'll sign off. Maybe at the end of this year I'll do a book like I did last year. See, there's a part of me that just wants to put, you know what, I'm going to see. There's no harm in doing it. I can always take it down later. There is a part of me that thinks this just needs, like, right here, just cut in. Maybe even in front of everything. I don't know. Let me see. There we go. Something like this. It's a very defiant, happy little black tree. Maybe that's what it needed. Beat up and gnarly looking black pine, just dominating. Right over here. So if I do, hold on, something. Okay, you can be a little twirly. Oh no, that's That's a bad tangent. We can't have that at home. Be a little dude. What's a little dude here? No, I don't need your protection further. Is this really doing this? Okay. We're doing this. I did not think I would, but now it's like it's doing something like this. This one I thought it was done. You just start. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Tomorrow, Nick. Indeed, Grim. I cannot define the time. I'll get there as early as I can, but I'm going to be on Xander Standard Time. And judging by today, it might be a problematic one. No. What do you guys think? Do you like it better with? Yeah, you know what? I don't think that fits. I think this stands up on its own. I think this stands up on its own. If I change my mind, I can always come back later. We're going to save this as the Mountain Pass? The Mountain Oasis. You know, that works. I like that. A good sign of a picture is, do I see places where I would take a nap? And I know I forgot the time lapse on this one because it's too pretty. We know that. So we'll export the ping of this. It's a nice warm up with a kind of oddly emotional. And we'll come here. We'll go red. Are we here yet? There we go. And we will never mind the furthermore. Now, we'll highlight all this because this is going to be a big one. I think this is going to be one of those where it has to be something like this size and probably center. So it looks just a bit better. There we go. Now, actually needs to come down. Yeah. The framing was off. Oh, that's beautiful though. Okay. Now we'll look real quick. Monday the 19th. Cool. Wow. Time is flying by. NTF 1, 1926. Okay. Now, the what's supposed to happen is we're only supposed to get an hour or so where it looks like a flamethrower is coming off the bottom, but it's cold and snow off the bottom of Lake Michigan. And then, theoretically, it's supposed to clear up. We shall, of course, see. Okay. But we've got all our pieces, so we'll set a new one. And I think I'll stop the music for a bit. Thanks, Grim. I'll check that in a bit. What do we want to listen to? What ad should we listen to? Yeah, I got a long time on the stream.
In 1948, a man was found dead on the beach. But he hadn't just washed up. Oh no, he was very nicely propped up against the seawall, very well dressed. But there were no labels in his clothes. They had all been cut out. Very mysterious, the police thought. And then they found, rolled up in his pocket, a piece of paper from a novel that said Tamam Shud. When they finally traced it, it came back to the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. But it got even more strange, because in the back of the book, when they found that it had been torn out of, there was a code, a secret code that has not been cracked to this very day. When they finally found his suitcase, it had a mysterious jumble of items, some which were very hard to explain. Also in the back of the book was the phone number of a very mysterious nurse. What did she have to do with the death of the Somerton man? Find Death and Love Down Under, a novel by Carl Witzman, on Lulu.com in both ebook and print format.
Almost got back in time. Took me a second to get that shot. 1 sec. Alrighty, let's see. Check the comments. Any thoughts on what you on drawing stuff? A secret code. Do you want me to draw a secret code, or are you talking about whatever Grim sent me in my email? Anyway. Oh, that's cute. I don't like that. I think I'll use a pencil-y color. Something like this. Oh no, I didn't turn my music on. Oh yes, there are definite secret codes. Of course, you probably could use Carl's book as a secret code as well. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, we know you're running a show. Boom, 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 boom. Let's do dude. Drawing a dude. Been a while since I could. Better put some music on so I don't start singing. I get in trouble. Not that I'm going to get dinged, but because no one wants to hear me sing. I love how loose I can be just playing around. I have an art goal, a very specific art goal for 2026. I don't quite know how I'm going to get there, but the only way I can think of is by working my butt off and trying to look at new books and study. And it's going to be a lot of anatomy practice and motion work because I feel my art feels stiff. And I don't want to have my art feel too stiff. Please don't go green room with that. I know some of you will be tempted to. But you know, yeah, it is an elf. Don't think it's the one they want me to draw, but it is an elf. I need to start doing more games, I think, on my show. I also think I might do more art shows. How would you guys feel about that? You know, if I decided to take, fun drawing time, so to speak, and I'll find the line I'm looking for. Oh, the tangent though. Oh, the tangent's stupid. Okay, wait. So if we do this, and we do this, now I can fix the hair, the blade and the hair problem at the same time. Yay! Just get this. It's not like I don't know what the players have to deal with. For me, for running a game, it's always easy. The players tomorrow will have to deal with the ramifications of their own actions. Dang, I almost accidentally did a D. I almost accidentally did a Vampire Hunter D? Legally distinct to not Vampire Hunter D, Vampire Hunter D in that situation. Possible. Because this has a bit of motion to it, so let's play with that a bit. Let's just play with where this motion is taking us. I like that. Let's see. That's all. Now that's all cloak. I'd be quick to play them all. So this is. There we go. We'll do that. Like so. Can I get the motion right there? Music. Not bad. Because this is all going to be so much black in this picture. That. We're getting somewhere. Just old-fashioned sketchery, huh? Oh, wait, what do we got? What we got going here? Give us more art shows. Oh yeah, Carl's book. It really does sound good. It is on my shelf. It is meant to be read. I have another layer. I go here. I go black. I might just do this one. Oh, actually, I need to pull the opacity down on this. There we go. There we go. Oops, wrong layer. Or if I pull the opacity down. That's what's wrong. I'll do this one for Xander. Xander loves it when I do this. Just a little bit of magic. Just a little bit of the moving stuff around. Size am I rocking? 8? Okay. Do that. I think the package I'm expecting today may be delayed. Not Boy, I gave this guy a lot of chin. That's okay. But I can slow down and get interesting on it. Man, that wind is howling. Hope everyone is safe and warm. It's scary berries. A little more art shows. Yeah, I may start doing more art on my other streams then. It's my stream. It depends though. See, I don't want my art shows to impede people's conversations. And sometimes they do. Sometimes people get so... You stop. Wait. You bother me, kid. Okay, there we go. Now, we back out just a step. Go way up here. Something like this. I can do something like that. I'm gonna have to fix that. Oh, it's so good though. What's that Av? Is that Av peeking out? I think that's an Av. That might be Av. I don't know. It's a bit of nose. The nose screams ow. The energy screams ow. Oh, this could be Young Al too. This could be Young Al in the old days. Oh, nobody's winning if we meet Young Al. Don't know. It's all about finding what the character wants to tell me. Oops. I don't know. I don't know if that's an inconsistency. Nope. You. I like to make fantasy swords, but make them actually feel like perhaps they could, sword. Like, to some level, they could actually be wielded. Stretch time! Stretch time! Stretch time! Everybody get your scratch. Oh. Not even Lothario can save you now, little one. Ooh. Ooh. This isn't quite his style, but it's close, isn't it? Oh, I wonder as I wander out under the stuff. See, that should be lower. That's the problem. Cloak was starting too low. No, that's not right. Arg! There we go. That's close. No, that's not right either. There we go. Just had to break loose a little bit, just a crack. Oh, we're getting somewhere though. It's not perfect. It's very, has certain fix it and post elements, but we're getting there. Oh, that's too low. I need to do some work here. Hold one sec. One sec. Thank you guys for your patience tonight. Today, whatever. And I will say this, Grim made an interesting point. Drawing is one of the best ways for me to find NPCs. If this fella didn't already exist in one form or another. But some stripes to his legs. See, what I like about this particular song by Dan Hollifield is that, especially pulled way down like this, it has that almost fantasy, almost video game fight music vibe, but that the low chants of the keep grounding it into the realm of subtly approached terror. I do love a good bit of subtly approached terror. that part didn't get closed first. Okay, now I get to find the gaps. Get to play find the gap. Oh, right there. I see it. I'm going to reshape this in a minute anyway, but well, now that, oh, the gap's up there, I see. Let's do that. Whoop. I gotta play find the gap some more. Oh, I'm also in the wrong layer for this part. I see what's going on. Cool. Go. We can fix a lot of things very easily, very quickly right here. Oh, I'm still in the wrong. I forgot to go back to my regular black. That's what's throwing everything off. Woo-hoo. That. What else need to close that? That. That. Now, if we add a layer, blend mode, multiply, that should make things a little vaguely more tolerant. Okay, let's take this color. Go. Forget that I'm on the wrong layer altogether. Part's not closed yet. Come back here, put my line. Close that, close that. There. I know this line isn't closed enough for this, but that's okay. Because we're going to do a little bit of detailing. Whoop, wrong color. Bit of detailing. There we go. I need to do a bit of this anyway. One layer again. There we go. Gapped. And this is just about hopping between layers and getting it done. We'll get there. There we go. Now if I go, a lot of times I'm flicking around just trying to get to where I need to be. Well, that's not bad. This is not bad. No, that's pretty good. There we are. It's a good version of it. Quite like like this version. Oh. A little bit of a light here, probably. But not too bad. Now, how do we want to do this? We've got a couple options. Oh. Not like so. Here. And we'll go back here. Whoops. There we are. Now we're getting somewhere. Very, very D-adjacent, but I'll let that slide this time. That. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer again. Shoot. There. Better. Now. What? No. Like this. It's a better color for this. That works out. It's the same color. That much of a jump in tone? Eek. That's fine. Whoa! That's freaky. It looked like he started to disappear. Blend mode, multiply. Now you guys know what's coming here. We're only to editing layer. And we are not messing around. We want the blue still. We're going to do this. Lots of dark that I get to play with now. Start always at the eyes, especially with the vampire. You can get a much bigger. So how's that looking? That's getting there. Oh yeah, very noir. Thank you. Well, I will always be heavily influenced by the shadow. And who knows what evil lurks in the hearts and minds of men. The shadow knows. Been a while since Don't you? Oh, I probably spooked everybody. Yeah, something like that. Glad you're enjoying it. I'm still playing with variants of the shadow layer to get things to do what I want to do. Now I'm going to go here and go soft light. Oh, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. I almost feel bad for what's coming next. There it is. There we go. I need a much smaller version so I can do. Oh, how's that looking? Is that? Oh, congratulations, Grandma. The dreaded power of killing a net. Oh, it's so good! Let's go! Let's go! Alright. Now I need another multiply layer, and then we put way down under. Actually, way down here. Very light. Might be too low. Oh wait, I'm a mile right brush. Yeah, it's just too low. This. How's that look? Yeah, I think we're good. Good luck on the interview, Grim. I'm very proud of you. Getting a job. Growing up so fast. Growing up. I can't even see where I'm writing. I'm doing too much dark on dark. Hold on. There we go. Oh, don't like the line at all. There we go. Yes, I think that's a good one. I think we're good with this. There we go. That's a good one. And we'll come here, we'll come here. Hide this for that part because I realized I did not export this as a ping. For my own collection, thank you. And then we will bring that back up. And we will export this as a JPEG. 1:21:26 should work. And I'll put the NTF on there because I just spaced it. That way I can find it in my files. Now, we'll hide this. We'll even export the time lapse. I really didn't strain too much, but I want to have a little bit of fun with that. I still have one more picture to do. But let me go media. Let's stop this one. And let's find a good. You know what? Alrighty then. Let's see now. I need to think of something else to draw. Oh boy! I need my stretch. And I need my hydration here. And I show you guys me doing this so that you guys know that it's important. Now, where are we at? Let's see. Comments? Hey, have a great day, Dave. Thank you for coming by. What are we drawing? What are we doing? Let me see. Do I have anything interesting in my random piles of characters things. I fill phones up with pictures of costuming and magic cards and strange poses. Which reminds me, I have a couple I have to put up from last night. Dusty decided to cuddle, and whenever Mandy tried to move him, he put his paw on her forehead like, no, sit down. I want to do that, but that's not exactly appropriate for this program. I could design a vehicle. I haven't designed a vehicle in a while. Like, seriously, take the time and hunker down, and instead of trying to do people, do a nice vehicle run. Of course, nothing vehicular is really coming up on my screens because mostly it's just, mechanical devices I'm trying to remember how to do, magic cards, and really great costuming of women, but not a lot of men. I have a few. They're harder to find. Okay. Let's just get vehicular. Let's get mecha down with this. Let's mecha down. It's been a while since I've tried to mecha-nize something. Okay. We'll just start. All right. When you are designing vehicles, you have to find your design language. And you kind of want it to, because I'm not that far, and I may actually really want this one, so I'm going to record this time lapse for sure. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this all the way through. There we go. Now, this is a very standardized how I make a BSR, right? That being a big stompy robot. This is the code. There's no scale. This is just the basic mechanics of a BSR. Okay. Now, and usually, I'm going to cut this short to ensure visibility. But the nice thing about big stompy robots, especially now that I have the design language down where I can draw one fairly easily in my sleep. I mean, just about. I have some tools that were given to me a very, very long time ago. And the next project that I have, so I might just talk through this and just keep my life easy. A little bit of easy street, I've earned it. I have a pin drill that was given to me by Trelena. And when I can find my stop motion app again, I may want to do another stop motion, but use the pin drill. So pin drill tool here. To use pins to fully articulate a BSR like it should be. It's something I want to do. I may have to do one slightly bigger than scale, though, to make life easier. I also have, which I haven't fired up yet, a little tiny digital camera. You know, the bootleg of the GoPro things, the little GoPro boxes that I want to use in a big Stompy Robot style city to get footage at height and scale. So I'm thinking of doing something like that, and then combining some possibly, fly-through style footage with stop motion to make the product, make the video. I still have to write a script for it. Now, if you want to know more about what I'm talking about, if you dig into my files, there should be a playlist of stop motions, and you can watch some early stop motions I did a long time ago that I need to do more of. But the distinct design language of your average big Stompy robot is intentionally very blocky. Okay, these are not mobile suits. Although, on saying that, there are a couple of exceptions. One of them being Mischief's Mojo. No, Mojo's Mischief, sorry. Which is much closer, trying to do this from memory is a little trickier, to Armored Core, with the intention of a Gundam-ish vibe of what the heck is this? But I will always like blockier bots. And the reason I like blockier bots is very simple. I like blocky bots because they are easier to build out of wood. And to me, the closer you get to being, fully humanoid, the less mech and the more you become something else. But as you can see, the design language is slightly different between these two. I mean, it's present, so I can do some things to this mech to make it more in the visual style of BSR. So a lot of times, the more detailed rigs have this sort of firing mechanism over here. Now this one's very snubby. Let me add a missile. And being a child of the 80s and 90s, I will always love the I don't know, we call it Harlequin, the checkerboard pattern on the front of the Polaris missiles. I will always love that as an aesthetic thing. So whenever I have a chance, I like to throw that in. Let's see, I need to redesign the knees on this dude. He needs better knees. But, again, very simple designs can have very things. Oh, what? Oh, sorry. I've been pulling a Sarah and listening while working on something else. My budget spreadsheet now is an updated Social Security payment, COL increase, cost of living, okay, and Medicare deduction boxes for January. We all geek out. Oh, no, I love when people use their skill set to do what they love. and to improve their life. You are a master of Excel and spreadsheets in general. There's no reason that the tools of spreadsheets and the neat things you could do with them should be just left only for the purview of business. I think that's balderdash. But when I'm figuring out designs, this is one of my favorite ways to do it. Let me have myself another layer, because I'm not sure what I'm doing right now. I know I should be drawing the show, and I can turn that back on and easily put another BSR in. But I said I'd design a new vehicle. So I wanted to warm up with an actual like BSR grade vehicle. So first thing you have to ask yourself is, what is this vehicle going to do? What purpose is this serving that perhaps other vehicles aren't? Now, one of my big problems is the mobile artillery. And pardon any typos I have. Because for me, mobile artillery is an incredibly versatile class. So I have one version that looks, let's see. Oh, it's such a weird layout. So you have this trapezoidal piece, and then it comes out, has treads. Now, I love my heavy mobile artillery because that just becomes a tank. But this goes like this. And that's, basically V1. Now, V2 is a little different. V2 is based on a hauler design. And it's a variant of something like this. So we'll say V2. Neither of these, even though this is Canon, this is the Canon model. If you look at the big book, this is basically the Canon model. There's little chuffy bits here, but this is basically it. We can show you. Let me grab one of my beat up copies here. So, looks like, here, I'll borrow let me just toggle this real quick. Looks like that. That's the main big stompy robot. Love the light stompy robots. They're very much in the language. And I mean, the heavy brings me joy because it's a beast. But I still like the concept. Oh, no, that's glorious. I respect it completely. I'm sitting here geeking out about designing vehicles. So I could do, using these guys, I could easily go, okay, I want to make a more svelte looking. Like if I wanted to take this and this, right? combine the elements I like best of both of these. So you usually don't get to see this. Actually, nobody can see this. This is the kind of process that happens in my mind very often on whiteboard, where there's no waste, no tension. So let's combine the elements I like. I kind of like the segmented elements of this, right? I like how there's this segmented vibe. But I really kind of there's something I like the tracks here, and I kind of like the double. Okay, well, let's get a rectangle to play in. Let's get a box, because whenever you're designing vehicles, a lot, especially if you're playing in proportionate land, which is where I play, you're going to be in a box. Now, or at least you're going to start with a box. I like this because I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, if I were carving this, cutting this out of balsa wood or basswood or whatever, how would I make it work? So I'm going to keep the truck front end, sort of, right? Truck front end. But I'm going to give it a little bit more sportiness. So I'm going to cut the bottom off to give it that. Now, if I take an external plate, right, and I go here, right, we're going to remember that. That's important. I can take the part of the box. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Hold on. That shouldn't be there quite so hard. Here we go. We're getting there. There. I should be able to have it start here, but lift it so that the deployment looks a little more like this, right? Now we have the option of 2 holes. Now I'm going to tell you right now, hi dear. No, I've never had actually, you know what? No, I have. I've had one fly off. I don't think I've ever had it crack your windshield. Dear, please be careful. Okay. So that way I have some shading. Now, the barrels could theoretically extend out. So then I would have the double, right, that I have here. This is getting somewhere. And I'll just do something like this. Maybe this will be a heat sink area. I don't know, I'm playing. Now we just decide we want wheels or tracks. Now I will tell you a great secret about me in my preferred vehicle design tools. Struck like a snake. Oh, that's clever, Dan. I love the witticisms that one finds. I'm still trying to keep within my pre-established design language. And this gives me the option to to set it up in such a way that I can cut pieces off. Now, the reason I tend to halfway draft in this is there are a lot of programs that I've used over the years that affect how I think, the programs you use the best. Oh, I'm so glad that your husband came out. Because that's a heck of a drive, especially in this. Please, please, please ask him to be careful and make sure he's safe, because he is definitely a keeper cat. But I've now kind of rendered out a really neat. I could even. No, I don't want to do that. Variant that is basically both of these put together. Now, if I were to I'm glad he can get away. You know, a lot of jobs won't let you. The nice thing about this, anyway, sorry, I got distracted. A lot of what I do has been built from using a very ancient version of SketchUp. And I use an ancient version because the modern versions have some really shady writers. And back in the day, it was a very nice, very free program. So you'll see when I am visually rendering an idea, especially one that I intend to use that program for, my process on the sketchpad looks similar. Let me pull that. Where I'm sort of sculpting away at the drawing to give me the shape I want. And I think this is actually a really great method to use, and it's a great way for people who may not have had as much mechanical drafting as I did back in the day to do this sort of thing. That's one of the few educational regrets I had. If I had stuck more with mechanical drafting, I think I might have done jobs that make a bit more money, but it's still not bad to render out. And all this is owed to Commander Mark at the Secret City, Mark Kistler, the cartoonist. He still does live streams. If you are not subscribed to him, you want to learn basic cartooning, you are missing out. I can't believe he still does live streams. Man's got to be positively ancient. But, I might want to play with this mechanism a bit. I don't know. I need to play with that. Still, this isn't a bad design. Especially if I did something like that. It would round the back a little bit more and just keep things farther back from the blast, the heat and blast concussion. And I do like that. So this, sorry, I need a drink. My voice is starting to go. Mechanically, in game, this has the same stats, but design-wise, it's a completely different adventure. So, I kind of like this fella. See, I really like this fella. He's groovy. So what I'm going to do is just add another layer. come here, go black, and let's just ink this guy. Now, if you guys ever want to see me go through my process with, no warm up, I would be happy to talk it through for writers, because having a process like this allows for understanding of why things are designed the way they are. And that can be very helpful for making your universes feel more lived in, more real. Because I've always found that, there we go, the illogical will sometimes snap me out of my immersion. And one person who does the logical stuff and does this research really well is an author by the name of Blaine Lee Pardoe. Now, I do not always agree with Mr. Pardoe's politics. Okay? However, in a shocking thing for someone to say in 2026, it is possible to disagree with somebody's politics sometimes, but respect them in their creative capacities. Now, he may do something later, or I may find out something I don't know and go, well, I disagree, but the man single-handedly created some of the best lore for Battletech ever. And along with some really great mecha designers like Jim Burnell and Jim Bear Ross, heavily influenced how I work today. This needs to be lower. This canopy needs to be cut off, like right here. And it is funny, when I start rendering, when I start drawing things, if you ever, I'll ask that. Would you guys like to see me do, it's been a long time, another 3D rendering stream, where instead of drawing like I'm drawing today, I'm using an ancient version of Google SketchUp and making 3D things like the miniatures that I sent to Joe. Is that like a process you would find interesting? Because if it is, I could easily set up one of my streams and do that. Or I could do a special stream just doing that. I am not, much like I am just scratching the surface on what I can do in Clip Studio. I am the same way on my other programs. There are always new things to learn and explore, which is a big part of why I do stuff. I mean, if I already knew how to do everything, what would be the point of me doing it? That's not quite right, but it's interesting and I kind of like it. I have to come back and tinker with that concept. It's like I do not have the mental nor physical capacity to currently imitate my my favorite methodology of mechanized art, which is like the 80s and 90s ultra detailed hyper mechanical login sequences that you see in military and mecha animation quite a lot, where the pieces are firing off and you see like what looks like actual cockpits, control systems. It's all brilliant, and it's more complex than I usually have time to explore. So this thumbnail is going to be interesting because the product of the thumbnail is not nearly as important as the discussion around it. And that's okay too. Had a life plan, not lesson plans. Yes. Hey, you have a great hump day, Mr. Walker. I hope you've enjoyed the feed. This is all very sloppy, and I admit it freely, because I'm in full like speed sketch mode, and my brain's going, okay, I have pre-understood things. So this over here, that's a 1/4 inch. I know what kind of item I would use. That would be probably, if I were building it out of wood, one of the little 1/4 inch beveled screw hole cover dowel rod things. But because I've been working in this scale for so long, I can be wobbly with it. And I can go, okay, that's going to look like that. That's going to look like that. No biggie. Oh, that needs to be that. Thank you. There is, at this angle, I'm going to do this. This just makes me more comfortable as an engineer and an artist. If I cut this little chunk out, right here, I know that when the barrel comes up, it's not going to ding into the cab of the unit. And while all this is very unnecessary, technically, for a lot of what I do, it's part of the process I choose, because by doing so, it helps me to understand how I want the unit to work. Why aren't you closed? Okay. How I want the unit to look. Oh, wait, let me look. No, I'm still golden. Let me hide that for a minute. Yep, that one got a little funky, but I knew that. I knew that it would. We're going to do this, like this. Do that, like that. And again, it's shaky, but it doesn't matter, because this is just getting the feel for it. I probably, whoa, wrong brush, would want to raise the middle to prevent high grounding. But this, let's see, that's not right. Okay, there we go. It's probably a good thing that Glenn isn't here. He'd be having an absolute lark at my my tendencies. But the point of this one is to show you guys this all is very doable. We live in a world where everything now, they're trying to find ways to tax or control or prevent you from being able to make your own dang version. You won't get that kind of messaging out of me. Because I believe that Angelina Jolie thinks about me as much as I think about her. No, I believe that we need to find ways to, and that's an old joke. Anyway, find ways. When I talk about self-sufficiency, it should be in a large number of things, not just, not just, mechanical, practical things. It needs to exist in how we approach what we enjoy. It's like, I may not like a lot of what broadcast television does. I don't have to. I either can make my own entertainment, shock, gas, pour, or I can go on YouTube, which is where I spend the vast majority of my viewing time, and I can watch other people, many of which I have the pleasure of knowing through Indie CD, doing their own entertainment. And I'll be honest, when I can, I do. Now, a lot of times I don't catch everybody's live streams because I stream so much that I need a break away from the screens. I need a break away from the TV. I need to spend time with my family. Now, if we all decide, hey, it's Wednesday night, Creatives at Play are on, how are we all feeling? Are we feeling up to this? If we're feeling up to it, we may watch. I may go, okay, looks like they're having trouble. I'm going to pull a Joe and help out in the background. Or I may go, hey, you know what? I have a really good project today I want to work on. I can do it and show the folks on that show what I'm doing, and maybe we can answer questions and talk about it. Understanding that kind of system must, exists, and using it must infuriate the huge media execs, because think about it. They are constantly trying to bombard you for your time and attention. And then instead of watching something they spent millions of dollars to produce, to promote, to yada yada yada, you're watching, the glory, and I do mean glory, of like Trelena making plushies out of yarn. Still blows my mind that a non-rigid system string can become a rigid three-dimensional object. Dan asks any question. Weapon rotates as well. Yep. That's part of why I was fixing it. Let me get back down here because this part is trying to indicate that it rotates on this axis. And because I think it's funny, I like to design these things as like giant Phillips head screws. I think it's funny. But these, which I need to tinker with, telescope out. So see, this is where I have to start adding the greebling. The little things that make this an interesting vehicle. But this is a great way for me to should I probably pull that out. As a writer, to activate other parts of my brain So I've designed this vehicle, and I find myself asking, okay, who's driving it? What's their story? Why is their rig different than other people's rigs? You know, did they make it themselves? Did they find it somewhere? What story is the vehicle telling that maybe you wouldn't know otherwise? I mean, I have one faction of things in my universe. The Glitchers are a semi-sentient race / thing of robots that come from the sky, from a satellite position, and instead of destroying your units, they convert them. It's a terrifying process, but at the same time, it makes for a good story. Because then I ask, who designed them? Why were they put into operation? Why are they still working? Yep. And it doesn't have to work. It just has to look enough like it probably would work. This is the mentality of somebody who loved 80s sci-fi. One of my favorite sci-fi ships of all time are absolutely dorky looking. If you watch the 80s Buck Rogers, they're called hatchet fighters. And the reason I love the hatchet fighter so much is when on one of them they had to show the cockpit and they had made it, and the hatchet fighters were brown. And I realized the hatchet fighters were brown because the entire cockpit was made out of corrugated cardboard. And there's one part where you can see the edge of the corrugated cardboard. I swear I saw it. Now, I could have been mistaken, but my universe is so much more amusing with the idea that the hatchet fighters for Buck Rogers were made out of corrugated cardboard that it delights me. And that's the thing. When you realize every visual perspective that everybody has is flawed, okay? No one sees everything perfect. There are always going to be measures of delusion in the world. That means when you understand the basic rules, you can have fun with it. And you get things like this little dude just coming out of left field. And I freely admit that engineering just makes sense to me. Part growing up, same way with me. If I said poor man's engineering, where the measurement isn't as important as the function, and being able to eyeball it and go, that'll about work. I mean, in Battletech terms, I am very much minded like a mercenary from the periphery. All my vehicles almost always have this, sometimes good enough is just good enough mentality, doing the best you can with what you got. I can actually, if I take that, there we go. We're almost there. There we are. And what I love is because I've designed this way for fly-by-wire, I designed a basic workhorse spaceship, modular attachments for different tasks. Unfortunately, the published version needed to have all my illustrations removed from the manuscript. Hopefully you still have them, because, especially with the way things are going now, you might be able to release a special edition or something. Because I know your publishers have been difficult. Doing this because Xander loves it when I move things around like this. So every once in a while I like to just do that to appease my son. Okay. Now I'm going to just do this. This. I'll do this. Hold on. I have to switch gears back to normal drawing mode. That's a little off. That's okay. And see, now I'm going, okay, we got a little cat girl over here. The new. Oh, no. Mobile artillery. B3. And now I've made this look like a Ford commercial or something. Whoops. Oops. Well, it sucks to be them. But this is like a good view on my process for developing new units for big stompy robots. It's very similar to my process for how I do character design when I am doing D&D. I hope this was at least vaguely entertaining. I'm going to keep it black and white because black and white is in the entirety of the Big Stompy Robots universe. I keep things this way as a rule because my terrain tends to be black and white, and that makes things neat. So we're going to do this. Now, this is one I may, quote unquote, fix in post, but for now, this is sufficient. So we will come over here. We will say save as. Mobile artillery V3 add BSR add. Save that. We'll export that in ping. Okay. We'll come over here. We'll export the time lapse because the time lapse is really kind of a neat one in that it shows rapidly how a standard BSR just gets banged out. And it's kind of cool to see my mental processes happening in real time or near real time. So I'm going to definitely do that. And that's one I really want to try to make sure I get up. I know I'm way behind, but this is a fun one. And I love when I can give a bit of a quasi-educational lecture in any of my streams. Did I put this up to ping yet? Okay, I did. Because it's always interesting to just get that going. Thank you. I need to spend more time on that fill-in. Nevermind the Furthermore. And I love that my thumbnails kind of hint to this multiversal situation for Nevermind the Furthermore, where you don't know if we're going into the big stompy robots worlds or if we're going to the land of the lamplighter. We just know that Nevermind the Furthermore will always have something different. Thank you so much. I wish I could copy the text. I will. But we've got this. Or I can go here. Go here. So we'll do a quick review on the images we did. First, we did this mountain oasis, and I'm still not sure if I don't kind of like that version, but we're staying with it. We got to talk about the importance of being able to have nostalgia places, even to fantasy. We went through the glowing Dampier, which my lovely players are now concerned about. This makes me happy, And then we did a very nice, kind of scraggly mobile artillery design. We worked through all this together, and I think it entertained everyone involved. So what I'm going to do now is let's do this. I'm going to run some ads, and I think we'll wrap up at a little over 3 hours.
Which is worse, parental interference in your job or a person with a weapon when they shouldn't have one? Working security can be boring, but some conventions are a blast. Find this and all of Donna Carlene's books at lulu.com or look for her on ndcd.org.
Hi, I'm Auntie Foxy, and I'm a crafting addict. I make custom jewelry from recycled materials, and Foxy has wares if you have coin. You can find me at ndcd.org/about-auntie-foxy. I hope to see you there.
And of course, it's not one of my shows if I don't run this ad.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel, but otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
That's right, folks. The best response to the world around us is to unabashedly pursue art. So, guys, keep writing, keep drawing, keep creating. As long as you do, you can edit it, you can improve it, but you can't edit a blank page. My voice is shot from the stream, so I will see you all very soon. Check out the folks on NDCD tonight at 8 for Creatives at Play. Beyond that, guys, toodles. Oh, yes, I love you and you should too.